All right, we are live. Hopefully. Hope to God. Should be good. What's up? Hi, Melissa. What's up, North Carolina prospectors, NC prospectors? I need some caffeine, though. I definitely need caffeine. It is one of those days. Oh, thank God. Thank God for Mountain Dew. Anyway, how's everybody doing? Welcome in. Let me put some stuff away. And we are good to go. I thought I had a longer version of this out. There we go. All right. So we are doing, I have to get some memorial orders out of the way. We'll be working on that for a little bit. Okay, let's go ahead and get that started. How's everybody doing? Sorry for the delay. It's just been one of those days, you know? All right. And here we go. So the first one I'm going to be doing is it's a little teardrop ornament, actually. I haven't done these in a while. But I like them. So it should be an interesting blend. Hopefully I got it right. Okay, we're going to separate here. We're going to pick up the cremains or the ashes from the cat. We're still working on the cat. And infuse that in. This was a big, big order. And we're going to grab that, put some more in there. Like that. Okay, got that in there. We got to add some more greens to it. We're going to need you and a little bit of you. Then we got to make, this is a custom blend. Make a spinning cat guarantee go viral. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. All right, let's get this green in here. And then we're going to add in the shimmer green. That's going to make this thing pop. Hey, Red Squeak, what's up? Kadesh, what's happening? Melissa, how are you? John, KCH, what's up? Laura, how are you? Hi, Groves. And then we're going to grab this here. This is the secret sauce right here. This green right here. Need to grab my drill, because we definitely have to drill mix this up. I think that'll hold it. All right, this should be plenty. I'm going to separate it here. And I am down to my last little bit there. I cannot go any further with that. So this is a memorial pendant. Let's remove the little bit off that drill there. There we go. I don't want any of that drill mixture on there. So we're going to take this and we're going to form the pendant. This one's a little different, how it's constructed. Got to bring it down very nicely here. There we go. It's like a teardrop pendant. All right, we're going to taper it off here. Get rid of that little bit that was on there. There we go. So I got to round this off. It shouldn't be pointy. So we got to round that first. All right, let's go ahead and bring this camera in a little bit. This way you guys can see a little closer in. So we got this kind of like, it's a teardrop right now. Oh, you can definitely fit some stuff in this glass. This is no joke. That glass is a no joke glass. Let's go ahead and get this flattened out a little. This is what I do like about this pendant. The whole thing is on one particular glass color and one size. And it's really structurally very strong. And here we go. Let's go ahead and flatten this out. Then I can pull it into a loop. We're going to be making a glow-in-the-dark pendant out of this too. Not the green, but out of the ashes. This one's kind of like a really cool pendant, to be honest. Both of them are kind of cool. There we go. Let's get it rounded out. Okay, last little step in here. We're going to clean up this back end. There we go. Get it all straightened out. So this has a really cool looking green. So this is like the pendant, but this one requires gold on it, gold fuming. We're going to pop that on there real quick. Hopefully there's a little gold on here. Oh, don't you pop off. I see my little gold nugget there, just enough probably to get this golden fumed up here. So I gold about half of it, which includes the loop. And we kind of two-tone it. All right, we're good. And then because it is gold by itself on the color, we do have to use the borax. This will lock the gold in. Because we definitely have to lock that in there. Like that. Let me pull it over to the side view. Here we go. So now we got that really cool looking color contrast here. So we go from the pinkies down here, we color contrast into it. So that's the memorial pendant. Looks really good on a leather chain, which is what we supply with it. And we're just going to polish this off. All right, So that, yeah, it just kind of hangs out. It looks good on leather. By itself, some stuff when they're sitting by themselves, they don't look so hot. But once you add in the ensemble, looks good. What's up, Crystal? All right, so next we're going to be doing the it's called like a galaxy swirl pendant. I like this one a lot. It's just a little more complicated because it is glow in the dark. So it is 100% glow in the dark, not uranium. So we need lots of it. What do you guys think of the little marble holder with a black light on it? So it's a little removable black light. I just found these things. They're kind of cool for marble displays. I kind of like it. So you can just take the regular black light, pop it in there, and then it's a cool little marble display. And then we got, this guy is just intensely insane. This came out really good. I don't know if you guys can catch the, how about not black light? There. You can see all the colors bouncing through there. Looks fantastic. To me, it looks good. I think it came out cool as hell. Yeah, the goblet's freaking, it's just big. That'll take like half a bottle of wine. By itself. It's insane. All right. Here we go. I'm going to show you the glow in the dark that we're going to be using. So this is one of the glow in the dark rods. I rarely show this. But you can see this one's the aqua color. So this is an actual glow. And this glows in the dark. Not black light reactive only. But it's a very bright white, and then boom. You can see that turquoise like that. But yeah, that's the glow rods. They're not available yet. We're getting there. They're not quite open to the public yet. How much does it usually cost for a startup kit? $2,500 to $3,000 is a good estimate. Mountain Dew for sure. I need it right now. All right, let's go ahead and let's make the cosmic pendant. So this one, I love this pendant. This one is cool as, I like this one a lot. Now, normally I do it out of blue. Most people want blue, but the customer requested black. And I like the black version a lot better. But blue is real popular. Let me bring this in and kind of flatten it out. I definitely need this. Actually, I can mount this. Take that back. Let's mount it up. So that is the glow-in-the-dark glass. All right, we're going to grab a shorter rod here, skinnier version of it. Going to mount it up here for a reason. All right, let's go ahead and make this pendant. Bring it in, and we're going to cut it off a little bit. So this customer requested the bright green and the turquoise combination of glow in the dark. So we'll have green on one side and turquoise on the other. Let's go ahead and warm it up. We're going to grab the glow in the dark. The only drawback on this stuff is it definitely needs to be preheated. It does not like to be shot. A little bit there. Should have enough on this little bit right here. Let's get this side on. Now this is the bright green right here. The other side was the turquoise. Okay, we're all good on that. Probably should bring in, you guys can't probably see all that well. We'll bring it in a little bit. So on one side we have glow-in-the-dark turquoise, and the other side we have glow-in-the-dark green. Unfortunately, while it's hot, it doesn't show. Yeah, green and turquoise are sick, honestly. But is there a side of the torch that determines a specific color? No, not a side, a distance. Liz, sometimes I have to, like, you can go ahead and repeat the question. You won't bother me by doing that, and I do miss a lot. Don't be offended by it. I do have the pink marble. It's right there. Well, let me pull out the camera. Sorry, you can't see it right now. It's right in front of me. Let me get this pendant pretty much started out, and we'll bring it. I'll show you guys a better detail of it in a little bit here. It's pretty insane. I almost don't want to sell it, but I have to. I can't keep everything, but it is badass. I'm not kidding. It is wicked freaking cool. The pink is a little lighter on the first pink we did, is very, very light. The second pink that we did in there, the really bright, shiny one, honest to God, looks like dichro. Stephanie thought it was dichro when she first saw it. it went insanely cool. All right, let's go ahead and get this built up here. So I got to do a little clear on the other side here to match it. So, quick question out there. Apparently, I can only go live on YouTube so many times before it kind of dings my account. They don't restrict how many times I go live, but if I go live too many times on here per day, it kind of throttles it, and it makes my metrics worse. So I can only go live like twice a day. With that being said, what other platforms could we go live on that you guys would be interested in watching? TikTok has no restrictions. So that part I like. But I've got Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, Kick. No, Lizzie May, I'm actually looking at Facebook. I'm developing Facebook right now. I need 9 more followers on Facebook to go live. I need 9 more. Okay, so this is what we have built so far. So we got turquoise, black, green, and then a clear section here. But yeah, Facebook is definitely an option. Facebook and Instagram are for sure. I want to use Facebook and Instagram because it is underutilized right now. It is a platform that's being ignored by a lot of people. So it is definitely on my radar there. So there is the marble from last night. I'll bring it up later for a close-up view of it. But right now I have to focus on this. All right, so we got to pull this down. I thought I'd bring it out so you could temporarily see it for a second there. Really? Yeah, that's it. It's insanely, it's insane. Literally, there's a section in there that looks like dichro that is just the gold fuming. Okay, we got to punty this up. Then I got to clean this other end here up in the back end. Now that you guys have seen it, let me punch it in a little closer again. Got to clean this end up, and then we're going to turn it into the spiral. Use Instagram the most? Well, Instagram and Facebook can go, thank you, Groves. Instagram and Facebook can be simultaneous. But I've got Instagram and Facebook. Instagram I can go live on right now. My Instagram account is approved for that. But for some reason, Facebook requires 100 followers for my page. I could go live on my personal page. I just can't on my business page. Okay, so we got all the colors bounced. There's the black, green, clear, and turquoise glow. So we got them all striped down. We're going to take this and we're going to compress it down. And we're going to create a twisty. Got to be really careful here. This is why I don't add the ash into this particular portion of it, because it can definitely go wrong. Then you have to restart. then I'd have cremains and glass I couldn't use. There we go. We're going to twist this one up too. I never know which side I want to use, so we do both sides. But this is the one time you need less heat, not a lot, very little. Get this twist correct. I think I'm going to use this side. It's going to look the best. So yeah, Facebook is definitely an open option. Okay. Let me side view this so you guys can see where we're at. So this is the spiral that we have going at the moment. Wait till you see what it turns into. Thank you, Mandy. 97. Thank you. The pink marble turned out freaking awesome. It is front and center right there. I'm going to do a better view of it in just a little bit. 98. Thank you. Okay, so now we need to go down here and compress it in and get it round. Roundish. Roundish? Yeah, roundish. Yeah, that marble is so nice. I almost, like I said, I almost don't want to sell it, but I know I have to. Because I can't keep them all. But it's worthy of keeping, honestly. But I think a couple people had already committed to it, so yeah, got to keep my word too. All right, so we're kind of just compressing this in, letting it naturally shrink down like that. See it compress down? And we're going to bring it over to just the marble mold and give it a small push in. Like that. Nice and easy. Nothing aggressive. When I train glass people on glass, I always tell them, do not go aggressive on it. Glass is like having a hamster, a pet hamster. You don't want to get aggressive with it. Pet hamster, you just kind of pet. Now we got that spiral going. So all those twists in there create that really cool spiral. And then we got turquoise glow and green glow going up same direction. So the lighter looking version there is the turquoise. The darker white is the green glow. So we've got two different glows bouncing through there. Okay, then we're going to come up here. People don't know how much work goes into pendants for memorials. It'll take me longer to make this pendant than a 2-inch marble. Okay, we're going to come to the back side now. And we're going to smooth all this out. And thank you guys for signing up on Facebook. That's really helpful. I appreciate it. But I want to have like 5 different streaming platforms. Because again, YouTube doesn't like me going more than twice in a day. TikTok doesn't care, but occasionally I get the idiots on TikTok that, the haters. So, my haters. So I'm going to call them from now on fanboys. That's really going to annoy them. Call him a fanboy. Because in all honesty, all the female glassblowers I know are cool as hell. They are like, it's only the guys. All my female friends for glassblowers are freaking awesome. I think because females in general are less petty. Maybe that's a judgment, but I think females in general are less petty. Thank you, Melissa. Uh-oh. Crap. I'm burning my light base. Oh no. That's the danger of having a light base on your bench. No, seriously, females are a lot easier to work with. Like when I did glassblowing experiences, it was always the females that did better. It's nothing against guys. Okay, I'm not trying to put guys down. But the females always they paid attention. And almost 50% of the guys would be like, I know what I'm doing, leave me alone. And totally mess up. All right, so this is the back end of this. And like I said, I'm not trying to be judgmental. It's just a fact. It's my experience. So that's actually the back end of it too. But you can see we got the double spiral. That's what I was saying. I can do it either side, but I like the front side that I chose better. Okay, we're going to come out here. Oh man, that smells so bad. So I have this on a light base. There's a light coming underneath it. There's a plastic light base, and I stuck a hot rod next to it, and that plastic burned. And I can't get that smell out of here right now. Okay, so this is a memorial. We're going to take ash from a pet. This is a cat. In this bowl right here are ash from a cat, the cat. And we're going to bring it into this. And I can only add so much. Because if you put too many cremains in here, it changes the mechanics from being glass to almost like a ceramic. So you can only do so much cremains. I got you, Red Squeak. No worries. All right, so we got the cremains in there now. I'm going to pull the top layer off here. There's no cremains in there. You got to pull that off. Okay. Let me show you where the cremains actually go in this piece. So that little bobble up there, see all how it's highlighted in there? Let me bring this back out. You're going to see this highlighted section. This highlighted section is where all the ash and cremains are for the cat. See that real highlighted section right at the top? That's where all the cremains are. They're fully encased in there. Okay, so next we're going to come in and we're going to put it into the glow-in-the-dark powder now. So this is a glass powder that is glow-in-the-dark. I'm actually going to move it right here temporarily. I don't want to burn anything. Mainly me. When I try and cross the flame, it gets too close. So we just come in and drop it in here, picking up the powder. And this is going to make the bottom underside completely light up. Let me show you what it looks like. We'll do a side view real quick. I'm probably giving away way too much information here. But it's okay. I think I should actually, for glass blowers, hold an entire class on how to do memorials. Because there's so many people that don't know how to do this properly and they suck at it. And then they ruin it. And it's messing with someone's ashes. So we got it all chunked on there. See all that? I don't even know if it'll glow. A little bit of glow, not too much action to it. But like I've seen Groves do her memorials, and she's doing a fantastic job. You know, because she watches me and pays attention. Yeah, it's not glowing, it's hot. Okay, so we're going to bring it in. So I also make the memorials in a spinner top. So have you ever had a dog that does zoomies, you know, like the zoomies all over the place? So I made the memorial out of a spinner top because it reminds me of my dog, Luna, who did zoomies. Luna was a zoomie monster. So I made a memorial of her so she could do zoomies with her ashes. And every once in a while I bring Luna out and we do zoomies together. I don't care how long a dog's been passed. I still have a hard time with some of them. I'm not going to talk about them, or we're going to have a hard time here. Okay. Yeah, I don't care how long they've been gone. I always have a hard time. Okay, so now we got all the ash blended in there. Okay, you can see the little pockets of it, but mostly it's coating it. Oh, don't be terrified. If you're talking about wanting to learn this, Jonathan, don't be terrified of it. Oh, there's definitely enough work to go around. Here's the thing about memorials that I tell people and they don't pay attention to me. I've been doing this 32 years. What do I know? But the thing about memorial glass, it is China proof. And the fact that nobody is going to, even if they could legally, I don't know of anybody that's going to send their loved ones, their pets' ashes, their loved ones' ashes to China or anywhere else for that matter, in hopes that they're going to actually use the ashes in the work or use your ashes. Does anybody really think someone would actually do that over there? No. And if you say yes, you'd be lying. They would just cheap it out, and you don't know what you'd be getting back. So, from a creator's perspective and a business perspective, doing memorial work is China proof. Oh, blue bone pity? Oh, how cool. All right, so now we're melting it in. So what I did is I backed it with black. And this is a really cool sparkle black. But what happens with it when we back it with a black backing or blue, so normally people get blue, but I like the black, to be honest. When you have that dark background behind it, it makes the glow pop a little better. I'll tell you guys a story. I'm on story mode. Sorry. I'll be on story mode here. I know they would have thousands ready to ship. So when Luna passed away, I think it was 2 years ago, I was doing glassblowing experiences at the time, and these two ladies showed up, and Luna had just passed away the previous day. And I'm demoing my process on how to show them how to do this glass work so they can make their own items. And one of the ladies looked at me and said, "There's a big black dog behind you." And I was like, looking around. She's like, no. You can't see it, but there's a big black dog behind you, loving on you. And I was like, freaked out. And she goes, "I'm just telling you, there's a big black dog loving on you." And Luna had just passed away the day before. So, A, she wouldn't know it because I never posted it. She had no possible idea that even happened. And it made me feel really good that maybe there was a chance. But how would someone know that? I mean, I didn't advertise it, didn't tell anybody for like 3 or 4 days. But the very next day, I'm doing the lesson. It was hard for me to do, too. But I'm doing the lesson, and she's like, "Yeah, there's a big black dog loving on you. Just wanted to tell you." Now, I thought, okay, here it comes. She's going to want some money for a psychic reading or something. Nope. That's all she said. Nothing else. Nothing else. So, anyway, that's my little Luna story. All right, here we go. We're going to flatten this out now. All right, so we got it flat. Now I just have to get this round. So what happens when I do this, I push it in, it creates a little concave. So we have to straighten it out. You can see it kind of dipped in the middle a little bit there. But we have to bring it out. We got it flat now on the back end. So ever since then, I've had a different approach to that stuff with the dogs. And here we go. Okay, this is where it gets scary. Perfect. I needed this one to pop off, not that one. But sometimes it happens the opposite way. Here we go. I'm going to show you what I meant by this little dip. Can you see that little cave in right there where I pushed? Creates this little dip in there. So we want to get that out, but kind of showing for like Groves and Dragonfly and anybody else that's watching. That's what happens when you do that. You get that little dip in there. Then we're going to push it out and straighten it out. So if you get that dip in there, you just got to bring it in and smooth it. Yeah, it's beautiful though. Oh, Luna definitely loved me. Luna was a giant schnauzer that I got from a rescue. The lady thought she was getting a pocket dog, and I don't understand where giant schnauzer equated pocket dog, but whatever. You know, she came from one. I got her from the Bay Area. She was married to one of these like Google executives that were super uber rich. And she stopped feeding Luna because she didn't want her to grow anymore. So she stopped feeding her so much. And the husband had actually called the breeder and said he wanted to turn her in because he was scared his wife was going to kill her. And at the time, I just lost another dog, so I called them trying to get another one, and they said, "Do you want to go look at this one?" And I said, "Yeah." So I went out there, and there was Luna. And she was so skinny you could see inside underneath her rib cage. She had been malnourished to the point where you could see under her rib cage. So I got her, took her to the vet, and she was awesome. But about a year later, she developed seizures. She was epileptic, so for 12 years she had seizures every month, even with medication. But she was amazing. I mean, I had her for 12 years. But I called her Luna the Lunatic, because she would go down to my lake and she'd swim to all the neighbors' houses. So she'd go out on the lake and swim to neighbors' houses without us knowing. Neighbor would call me up and say, "I got Luna." Then I had to buy her a life vest because I was afraid she was going to have a seizure in the lake. Anyway, that's my doggy story. Sorry to bother you guys with that. I should be talking glass, right? But there we go. Now we got all the colors. See that sparkle in there? So the black has a really cool sparkle. Even the glow has a semi-sparkle to it. So the lighter version there, the lighter white, is the turquoise. The darker white is the green glow. So the light white is glow turquoise. The darker white is the green. Then we got that spiral. All right, we're going to park this in the kiln where I have to make a hook for it. So we're going to make a little hook and pop it on there. That was your nickname, Luna? I appreciate it. I do. I appreciate it. Let's go ahead and make let's make a little hook on there. So these I do make custom too. Now I implement a different bail or hook for a lot of stuff. I like a flat hook. I think it adds durability and I think it looks better. So I'll use whatever color is coordinated with it. We're going to bring it out here and flatten it. Oh, I should bring it in close. Let's bring in the view a little bit so you guys get a better visual. So we just flatten it out a tiny little bit like this. Create this little flat spot, like a petal. The other reason I like them flatter and wider is it allows for like a herringbone chain or a thick hemp chain, hemp cord. They look a lot better and they're a lot stronger for those. Whenever I develop something, I always think about what's the worst thing that can happen to it and how can I make it better. Because ultimately you want the customer to be able to have this for a very long time and not ever have any issues. And we're going to loop it around. Because like memorial glass, if it breaks, I always tell people send it back to me and we can fix it up or at least turn it to something. Because if the ash is in the glass and it breaks, it's not going to scatter everywhere. It's usually just like a few chunks. So I can at least remelt it into something else. But yeah, I should hold a course on how to do this. Because there are a lot of little tips and tricks on this. Process. And unfortunately, it's a never-ending business. People and pets are always passing away. The only other thing I recommend is people to go get certified on how to handle cremains or ashes. There's a little course you can take to get certified on that from the American Cremation Association. And that way, at least you have a certificate to show that you care. All right, let's go ahead and separate this. But yeah, this is definitely China proof or anywhere getting it copied and sent out. In fact, there are some countries you couldn't even ship cremains to. England, I had to go through. I've done several for England or the UK. And I had to go through a couple special shipping processes to get the ash here and back. All right, where's my happy spot? There it is. So the other thing I always do when I make these pendants, especially with a spiral, I always look at where can you place this that it's going to look the best. Take a minute to kind of look at your item and say, wow, it would look good hanging in that direction. I see so many people willy-nillying it on there. And then when you separate, do it low. But yeah, I see so many people just popping it on there. And if they had moved it like half an inch in one direction, it would look a hell of a lot better. Little details. I like it. It looks good. It's been a while since I made one of these. Then you just pop it off in the back. Smooth it out. Make sure there's no flaws. I'll bring it over to the side view. This like I said, even non-memorial, these are freaking cool as heck. I like them even as just like regular glow-in-the-dark glass pendants. I think it just looks good. So I placed the hoop there so that the top of that spiral is at the top of the loop. See how the top of the spiral is coming around, and I placed the bail up there. It would have looked goofy on the side. So that's what I was talking about, placement. Placement definitely matters. Okay, let me fix this stream real quick. We're going to come back out here, and then I'm going to show you guys the marble. You guys want to see the marble from last night? Hi, Marcia. Oh, you're in the UK. Hey, Liz. Good to have you. I'm happy to have you here. Okay, let's bring it out. And side view. Here we go. So we're going to bring it this way. So there's the uranium. You can see all that shimmer. And I'm going to try and show you the inside. There's the pink in there that Stephanie thought was dichro in there. So that's the gold pink in there that we did. And unfortunately, the filter is kind of filtering that white. It looks white, but it's a very light pink. But with the filter on right now, it looks white. But look at that dichro. See that pink dichro in there? Ooh, it looks good. And then here we go. Ready? Magic. That's why I love uranium glass. I wish you could see this in person. But yeah, that little section in there is freaking gnarly. That's why I don't want to sell it, but I have to. Might be able to catch, no, I'll say you can kind of see a little pink hue where the light is real bright there. You can kind of see it going pink. Right there, pinky. Can you guys see pink? And right there. But yeah, that is the pink and green. If you wanted a little eyeball, it'd be cool as hell. Can you imagine this is a glass eye? There we go. Little cyborg eye. And then this stand is cool as heck. Look at that. Got a little bright light on it right there. Then you can just display it. I like it. I'm testing the battery, see how long the battery lasts in this thing. Actually, I'm going to turn it off for now. There we go. Yeah, this has a stand on it, so that has the black light on it. And unfortunately, right now, the lighting in here is so bright you can't see it, but it is definitely glowing that green with this. And we're trying to find ultraviolet lights that have a light up from the bottom. And that's the problem. But like I have one that's close by, or if I bring it in, you can kind of see it starting to glow green. But my environment in here is so bright that it's hard to catch everything. Even this has a tremendous amount of uranium in it, but it's hard to catch it like that. Maybe it'll do it from the back, not even. A little bit down there. But this has a lot of uranium in it. If you see it outside of this environment, this guy is intensely bright. But I do love that shimmer. Remember we did the amber purple on that? This glass is gnarly. I love it. And then we got it that way. The only thing is it takes it'll fill up a lot of liquid. It'll make a lot of liquid in there. Okay, let's make a glow-in-the-dark pendant of some sort. There's several places you can get uranium glass from. There's like several vendors out there. Just look it up. They're very, very much available. Hey, Betty, how are you? Yep, that's the one I did last night. Correct. All right, so we're going to take some tubing and we're going to put the glow in the dark in there. Oh, that's a different type of glass, Bad Dog. That doesn't mean it's not usable or cool. But I use a glass that's called borosilicate. Common brand is Pyrex. So it would not mix with that bottle. But that doesn't mean that's not very cool to have. Any uranium glass is cool as hell. So that's kind of like my side hustle, especially if you have kids around or you just want an adventure out there. Go out and grab yourself a little mini blacklight like this one here. Little mini blacklight, and go to your thrift stores, Goodwill, Value Village, anything like that, a thrift store. Take that light and start shining it on all kinds of glass in there. Anywhere they have the glass section, especially kitchenware. Take it and shine it. If it lights up green, you have found uranium glass. It's kind of like a scavenger hunt. Hey, Daisy girl. Do you do air-blown hearts for human ashes? We can. But I think solid would be better. Solid allows me a lot more freedom to do some really cool stuff. Let me get this kind of set up real quick, and I'll show you one of the hearts that I did that has ash in it. We've been working on a big project for a customer that has a cat, and we've done like several pieces, and I'm still working on them. And one of them is a heart. All right, so we're adding the glow-in-the-dark glass in here. This is in a powder form, about this, like talcum powder almost. A little bit more. We're going to actually turn this into a pendant. It's a little bit much. I'm going to waste a little bit, but it's okay. We'll recycle it. I'll show you kind of what we have here. Would be for your late husband's ashes? Okay. Well, we could definitely take care of that. Side view. I never really show the inside of the tube. So that's what it looks like on the inside. You can see the layers that are coated in there. Then that's the outer portion. See if it'll even glow. Not really. All right, let me park this in the kiln for a second, and I'll show you the heart. This is one of my favorite designs. I have a couple reasons for it. So this one, I don't do like super traditional hearts because I just don't like making them that much, but watch. And we have the loop, the hole running through the side of the heart right there, so it becomes a lot stronger. But yeah, this has cremains or ash in it. I'll flip it to the other side. Like that. So yeah, that has the cremains. Now the reason I put the hole in the side right there is if we had a separate loop built onto the top up here, it becomes a lot more fragile. Okay, that little bail can get knocked off. So now you can run a cord through this. And even if it hits, falls, or something, it's not going to break. There it is. So now you can put a hanger through it, whatever you want to do. But yeah, we can do these in a couple different colors, styles. But I like this. I think it looks just freaking cool. And it's incredibly strong. Yeah, we can do it a little bit bigger. It depends on what you want it for. J-Dub, thank you. Yeah, I got it dolphins. I got to mount them. Yeah, these are the dolphins. I have to mount it. I haven't mounted it yet. So this is one of the pieces we did the other day. You know, honestly, I was debating on making it into a wine glass before. Originally, it was going to be a wine glass. So the glass was going to sit in between up here. So the cup would be up here, and then this would have been the base. But I think it would have been too fragile. I was too scared it was going to be too fragile. We'll get back to glassblowing in just a second, I promise. But yeah, bring that up. There's dolphin number 1. I love that. And then there's dolphin number 2. This turned out way better than I thought. I like that colored dolphin. I didn't expect it to do that. But there's the blue. And then we just have to mount it into the base. But that dolphin with the gold actually looks really incredible. All right, let's make a glow-in-the-dark pendant here. So we got this here. We're going to break it down a little bit. All right. There we are. So first thing is we have to melt that glass in there. Can I make anything class-like? I'm trying to figure class-like, not understanding that. Okay, so we're going to close this off. So technically, you could make you can even make beads out of this, glow-in-the-dark beads if you wanted. The technique I'm going to show you, you can make beads, you can do all kinds of stuff with this. But right now, we're going to melt the glow-in-the-dark in there. So we have all the glow on the inside of this tube. So the first thing we're going to do is get it melted in. So it's not a loose powder just kind of hanging in there. In fact, we may split this into a bead and pendant. We could do both. I can make it into both. We can do one each. This is a big enough chunk I can do that with. Okay, here we go. I'm getting it all melted in right now. I should sell this tubing like this too. Little tubes like this for people that don't want to have to melt it in there. All right, let's open this end up here. That was an epic pop. That was even worse. So let me show you what we got going on with this. So now we took that tube, we shrunk it all down. Now all the glass is blended in on the inside. It's now melted in there. We got a little bit of clear surrounding it. It's all fused on the inside there. We opened it up. We're going to attach a small tube to it. I'm going to separate this in 2 halves. We'll put the second half in the kiln for a little bit. And then we'll come back to it. And turn it to a little bead. There we go. I'm going to separate it down. All right, we'll park this in there temporarily. And we're going to open this up again. And I'm just going to show you, we can do really cool stuff, even on a small scale. Well, technically, there's 2 ways to approach this. We'll do it the easy way. Let's do the easy one. So we're going to take this section here, and it's got an opening to it. We're going to take that and we're going to flatten it out. Now the trick is you have to flatten it out starting at the back and push the air out. You don't want to trap it. So when you go to flatten this, make sure you flatten backside out. You can even take I don't have it here, a carbon rod and roll it out if you don't feel confident. Like that. So now we flattened it. It's a little funky looking, but hey, it's okay. We're going to fix it all up. Let's punch it in a little bit. That way I can show you guys a little bit closer view here. All right, so we're going to take that. Now this end always gets really funky, so we want to cut that off. Get out of there. There we go. Find my scissors. And we're going to cut that end off. Like that. Didn't know you could cut glass, huh? And we're just going to shape it a little bit. and a little flat spot. All right, so all that white in there will be glow in the dark. So that whole section is going to glow in the dark. You don't want to go too far down to the bottom down here because that is still open. We only want to work the flat spots. So we're just going to take some clear here. This is definitely the key right here. This does two things. One, it magnifies the glow in the dark underneath down there. So it's going to make it a little more visible. Like that. Then we'll take some non-uranium and we'll coat it. So we did that bead down this way. We're going to go right to the side of it, add a little bead of color. And I mean bead, I mean stripe down. Okay, so we got a stripe that way. Let's put a couple different colors on here. We'll do the lime green on the other side, the transparent version. Just nice, thick little passion, little blobby. Like that. There we go. Then we're going to add some sparkle black to one end. Now you can do this in any color combo too. You're not limited by your colors. And let's go ahead and throw some uranium down this. We'll add a little uranium to it. Just because we can. Make sure I got the right section. There we go. All right. So this will definitely be in the greens. Yep, you can twist, stretch, pull, and get a really cool looking spiral to it. So now we got all the colors bouncing through there. And that middle section is going to be the glow in the dark. Now we're going to do the magic. We got to stick our little rod right there. We're going to pull the lighter end off down here. Since this is still tubing, we want to get rid of it. I'm going to pull that whole chunk off there, because this will bend too much. When you go to shape this, this is just going to go. It's not going to work so well. Now I'm taking a long time to do this because I'm trying to show people how to do it and the process involved with it. Because the glow in the dark is a little funky to work with if you're not used to it. All right, we got all that off. So now you can go through here and we can do it. Now, one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little more clear on each side of that glow. I'm just going to punch it up just a little bit. I want a little bit more clear on there, just visually for me. Not much, just a little. You could even put a light, a light blue or something on top of it if you wanted to add even more color. I don't think it's necessary, but... All right, let's turn this into a cool pendant. So now we got all the colors kind of bouncing through there. Maybe side views better. Oh, there we go. Again, this is very basic tutorial. So we got the lime green, the uranium, and the black. There's the black, transparent green, uranium, and lime green slime. And then we got glow in the dark in the center. That's a big flame? Nope. That's a big flame. Reminds me of Crocodile Dundee. And here we go. So we're going to grab this and we're going to twist it up a little. And again, don't twist it like you're angry at it. Just kind of give it a little push. Be nice to it. Nice little pushes right there. Happy little push. I know, that's what it reminded me of, Liz. That's not a knife. Yeah, that's not a flame. This is a flame. Okay, so we got to work on this end just a little bit. This also makes a really cool marble. So if you wanted to make it into a marble, you'd have a glow-in-the-dark marble. All kinds of stuff off this. This is where you're at like the 50% point, and you can change it from a pendant to a marble to all kinds of stuff. All right, got a nice twist. I'm going to take about a third of this off. Now, we're going to remove about a third of it, because it'd be too big a pendant otherwise. So you can see the colors ending right there. And that's about the point where I'm going to take it down. And then this will be one of the pieces that actually glows in the dark. No black light needed. It does need to charge up though. So when I tell people it glows in the dark, it does need a light source to at least absorb some light. And it can be any light source. Just black light works way better. Ooh, I almost knocked that off there. All right, so side view, here we go. So now we got the little cool spiral going in that way. And we got all the colors bouncing through. And this is what I was saying. From here, you can make it into a marble pendant. You can see how you could do it either way at this point. It wouldn't matter. But we got those colors bouncing through. We're going to turn it into a cool little spiral pendant. But yeah, it would make a cool marble as well. I love spirals. I absolutely love spirals. I have no idea why I'm obsessed with them, but I am. Spirals are my thing. All right, so from here, we're just kind of letting gravity shrink it down. And this is what I was saying about spinning it in one direction. So I'm going in this direction, always. Occasionally, you'll see me kick it back a second. But if I went this direction, I would unwind those coils. So all the spirals that are going, I'm enforcing it this way. If I did this way all the way back, it would almost unwind it. Defeating the purpose. Okay, now we got it all wound up here. We're just going to bring it over to the mold, pop it down very gently. Oh, I forgot you guys can't see the mold. I apologize. There we go. Yeah, I forgot you guys can't see the mold. I'm sorry. And there we are. And from here, I was just straightening it out on the hook there, or on the torch. So now we got everything kind of compressed down. It's going a little sideways on me. That's all right, though. But you can see the colors bouncing through there. Anywhere it looks fuzzy in there is the glow in the dark. So the fuzzy is glow in the dark. The rest of it is just straight up color. Now, funny story about trying to learn this. I used to think that people took this and made little like spirals out of color, like they drew the spirals on there. And that was so hard to try and figure out. I was like, oh my God. Okay. So from here, we're going to transform this into a little shimmery glass on the back end. I was going to do electrum, but I think I'm going to do green. Or should I do electrum? No, we're going to do electrum. That's this color here. It's kind of like a liquid metal looking glass. That I need to find. There we go. This is going to be a kick butt pendant. Little punty rod there. Then we're going to break it off here. We'll add the color to the back. got that done. So this is a glass that looks literally like liquid metal once it's fully encased. And it doesn't take much. We're going to spin that up. I'm going to flatten it a little. Then we're going to use the Lucy color. So this is called Lucy. It is a very, very transparent pink UV reactive glass. So you can kind of see it going pink in there. So it has a pink reaction to it. I don't know why that light isn't working that well. But you can see it kind of go pink there. So we're going to put Lucy on the back and have it glowing, glowing pink on the back. Except for when it falls off. Now, what I like about this color is it's very transparent up until you put a black light on it. All right, there we go. Now we just have to flatten this out, and then we'll make a custom hook for it, bail. I'm going to use the Lucy as the bail. We're going to outline it with black. So we'll have a Lucy primary base bail, and then we'll outline the outer edges with black, and it should look kind of cool. So under blacklight, it's going to show off these little properties. I'm trying to stretch it way over here so you guys can see it. Normally I'd be right here. But I thought you guys would want to see that little section. That little push. All right, let's reverse the section here. Let me show you what the back looks like. Now, it's not going to glow at the moment because once the glass is super hot, it doesn't show the UV. It needs to be cooled off. But this is the back end. So essentially, you might be able to wear this on the reverse side too. But yeah, all those bubbles and stuff, you can't avoid it. That's just part of the electrum. But yeah, it kind of has this cool effect. So technically, you could probably wear this on the opposite side if you wanted to. It would definitely be flat enough to do that. All right, let's bring it in for a minute. So when I went to push this in, it did indent it. Ah, thank God it snapped good too there. Sometimes that doesn't work out. And the reason I'm showing you this is just because you can see that kind of middle indent right there. so that when I pushed it down, it creates that little middle indent. But yeah, there the color is right now. Let me get this melted out. Then I'll show you the color. This looks really good already, I can tell. So we put that electrum on the back end of it. So everything leaning forward will have this really cool shimmer underneath it. And here we go. Just working that little crater in there out. Nice and easy. And there we go. Let me show you this, and then let's make the hook. We'll pop it on there, and it should look nice. Thank you, Red Eye, for the jewels. I appreciate that. I do appreciate it. Thank you, guys, very much. All right, let's bring it out. And now we got all those colors bouncing through there. It's all spun up. And then this will definitely have that uranium look. It doesn't show it right now because, A, the glass is super hot. But I love that coloring. Let's take it and create a nice little hook for it. Grab the black. We're going to pull it really thin. Okay, we're going to bring it down. Oops. That was angry glass. So I'm just going to attach a little bit of clear here. We're going to pull this down really nice and thin. Like that. So we just thin it out a little. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong view. All right, so we just thinned it out a little bit. Let's go ahead and change that view. There. All right, we're going to take that pink glow. I don't know if it'll show through here. Let's see if the camera will actually show it. You get a little bit of pink coming through. Even with the bright lights in here, you can kind of see that pink. So that's what the bale is going to glow under black, like that pinky color. So just have to build up a big enough section of it. Okay, we're good there. Separate it over here. There we go. Working small. I hate working small. And we're just going to flatten. Like that, just a little doodad. There's my little flat doll look. I always say this thing, I don't know why, but it always looks like one of those little doll heads, like the little flat dolls. I have no idea why. When I had my store in Florida, there was a girl that used to, every year she would bring in this flat doll. She called it Flat Sally. I don't know if that was technically the name of the doll or she named it that. But she had cancer. And she would bring it in every year. I was happy to see her. And she would take pictures of Flat Sally next to new glass items that I had made. Like some of the new jewelry or stuff. I thought that was kind of cool. So yeah, she would bring in Flat Sally for pictures. And then after she got done, I'd let her pick out a pendant, and she got to take it home. Princess for the day. Okay. Let's hook that in. But I never forgot Flat Sally. And right now we're just creating a little bit of opening here. Make sure this hook is perfect. It's a little off. There we go. Okay, we're going to take that. And trim this down. Okay, that's the Lucy. I don't want to lose that. Even though it's only a little bit, it's still valuable. Bring in, make a nice little hook. It's all sealed up now. So now we have a little bail that we're going to stick onto that pendant. It's going to have that pink glow to it, and then it's surrounded by black, kind of pinstripe like the pendant itself. So it should look kind of cool. Let's find the perfect spot for it right there. And wiggle it off. Sometimes it comes off the back end. That's why I do it very low. Just take my time with it. Then we just tap it off, and then it's all done. Yeah, this guy is definitely reversible. You could wear it either way. It would definitely be a reversible pendant. And then once it's cool, that bail will glow pink. We'll have some pink in the background. But even on the back side, and make sure this doesn't fall on my hand, it would look cool hanging that direction too with that. So it can go either way. Almost looks like a Roman coin. Something out of Pompeii. I don't think we're going to get any glow out of it. Not yet. And then remember, we did half of that in glow in the dark, and we turned it into possible bead. So now we have the glow in the dark for the bead. So this was the section we did from the glow that is actual bead that we're going to make real quick. This is pretty fast. This won't take long. We're just going to make a down and dirty bead. Let's go ahead and do this now. This will be more like a focal bead though, not like the little tiny ones. This would be a centerpiece bead that you would want to use on a necklace or run it through a hemp cord, anything like that. There's a lot of bead makers out there that do it on a mandrel. I don't like mandrels. I have to get used to making them though. But I would much prefer something like this that didn't have the mandrel stuff in the center. So now we can open that up. We just take our little reamer here. Create a little section to open it up with. Okay, let me see if I hope I have a small piece of tubing in here, like a 12 mil. Okay, I do. So now we have start of a little bead like this. So we got the opening right there. I open it way up. I know bead people like small version, but I open this way up so we can, again, slip a hemp cord through there if you wanted to. So next we're going to take a little 12 millimeter tube here, and we're just going to scoot it right up on it. This not getting hot. This is the only one getting hot. Just pop it on like that. Burn off over here. I knew that was going to crack. So my other tube over here cracked. When I put it on, it had actually cracked. This tubing definitely had a flaw in it. You can see a little crack on that tube right there. So now we got this section here. We're going to take it and we're going to open it up. We're going to cut it down. I don't want a gigantic bead, but we'll have a good size. So we're just going to bring it in and shrink it down a little. Make a nice little focal bead here. Open it up the same way. I like the pick method, which means you're going to pick it open a little bit at the top until it gets super, super thin. And then you can just take some wire nips and nip it open and then use your reamer to smooth it out. It's much better than blowing it out because I think blowing it out creates a little chunk on there. Nipping it keeps it clean. Keeps all the edges clean. So we're going to take that. These are just your little wire nips, and then you're just going to clip it like that. Smooth it out. Same thing, bring it over, open it up. Like that. Bring it over to the side. So this is just kind of where we're at right now. Now we got tubing running all the way through. The hole is opened up on both sides. We got a little attachment right there, which we'll clean up at the very end. And that attachment to that clear is just going to pop right off. It's not going to stick on there very well. But we're going to hobnail this with amber purple. Actually, I want you. So we're just going to hobnail some dots on here, amber purple wise. And it's going to contrast against that glow in the dark white. And just look amazing. Make sure we get it all melted in. Now this is a quick and easy bead. It's not like super focused on spacing, everything super easy. And if you want, you can put micro beads in there too. Okay, we're going to attach that there. Hopefully this pops off really easy. Yep, it did. See, that's what I was saying. It just pops off super easy. Left a very clean edge, which we're going to trim up here. So there's the edge that was on it. We're just going to clean it up because it was a little sharp after we detached. And you take that little bead, pop it in there, and then you can break that off. Now you got a little hobnail bead that will glow in the dark, made out of borosilicate tubing without any bead release in it. Now we got all those little amber purple colors bouncing through there. Makes a fun little last bead. Stevan, thank you. But yeah, notice no bead release in the center. It's completely smooth. So we don't have to deal with that bead release. I hate that stuff. All right. I'm going to definitely take a break for a minute. We're on the 2-hour time frame. So on YouTube, definitely kick in tonight. We will be on tonight, 5:30 to 6 o'clock. I'll set it up on a stream. I'll set the stream up for what time, and we'll pre-do it. I'll probably be on TikTok. I'm going to see if I can go live on Instagram or Facebook, implement it, and you might be able to find me there too. So if I need to take a break for a little bit, go check on Mom, and I'll see y'all in a bit. Thank you for hanging with me today. You guys are awesome. Happy Friday. Tonight's going to be amazing. And, oops, sorry. How about we do the right view? Tonight's going to be amazing. We had a good time making the glass last night. We had the marble down here we also made, which was amazing. I'm going to show you guys this marble before I go. Sorry, one more time. Let's pop this in, side view. This thing is flipping awesome. And then there's that pink section in there. Man, doesn't that look like Dichro? That little section definitely looks like Dichro in there. And then, best of all, it's magical. All right. Now I'll let you guys go. I'll see y'all later. Have a good time. I'll see you tonight. I'll check Daisy Girl. I haven't checked email this morning.